In our press review now, we're going to get a bit more on our top story, the death of a 37-year-old woman at the hands of an ICE agent, garnering a lot of reactions in the press. Diptyque Laurent, you're here to take us all through it.
Yeah, that's right, Karis. Let's show you the front of the Globe and Mail, the Canadian daily today, actually headlining on this with a front page picture. Killing Royals, Minneapolis, it says on its front page. It's also dominating the local paper in Minneapolis, the Minnesota Star-Tribune here. It reports that thousands of people gathered to memorialize a woman who was killed by ICE agents on Wednesday. Her name was Renee Nicole Good. She was a 37-year-old woman and mother of a 6-year-old child.
All right, so what reactions are we seeing then in the opinion pages?
Well, her death came amidst anti-ICE protests in the city, and there's quite a few opinion pages. This is from opinion articles. This is from Phil Morris, a columnist for the Minnesota Star-Tribune, who says that he calls her death, quote, tragically predictable, accusing the federal government of turning Minnesota into a testing ground for the most aggressive street-level immigration enforcement yet deployed. Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem, like ICE, has said that it was self-defense, that Good was attempting to run over ICE agents and ram them with her vehicle, which is why they had to defend themselves and fire upon her. In another opinion piece from the Minnesota Star-Tribune, this is Jennifer Brooks, who says that her killing and the aftermath, with the vigils being held in her honor, also are a painful reminder of 2020, because it was also in Minneapolis that George Floyd was killed by a police officer, and his death, of course, sparked nationwide protests against racially motivated police brutality. It's not quite the same thing, but the sentiment is still very much there, and there is a sense of pain in the city, is what she argues. In the National Review, this is a U.S. conservative magazine. Well, they look at the legal fallout from the Minnesota ICE shooting. This columnist saying that Good appeared to be trying to get away and in the process swiped her car in the agent's direction. At the same time, this writer argues that she didn't appear to be trying to avoid running the agent over either, which will make prosecuting her death a tricky legal affair.
All right, well, Denmark is seething as Donald Trump mulls acquiring Greenland. Tensions, though, are also mounting between Trump and European leaders.
Well, we've been talking a lot about it in the press review this week. Where is Europe in all of this? How are they reacting? It appears that they were quite muted in the beginning, but they're scrambling to respond. A few days ago, several leaders issued a statement defending Denmark's sovereignty over Greenland. This writer for the Christian Science Monitor here looks at exactly what Europe can do to stop this. And the reality is there is very little Europe can do to stop the U.S. in its pursuit of Greenland other than using diplomacy. Politico, however, does offer some different options. It outlines today what Europe could do to mitigate this situation. It could, option number one, find a compromise, a negotiated settlement that would give Donald Trump the win he wants, while allowing Denmark and Greenland to save face. Option two, giving Greenland a ton of cash. Option three, it says boots on the ground. And option four is maybe the one trick that Europe still has left to play, or a trick up its sleeve. It's called the anti-coercion instrument. It would allow the EU to retaliate by creating penalties against any country using coercion against it.
All right, well, an article from the New York Times says Trump may not even need diplomacy to take control of Greenland.
Yeah, it's a really interesting article, Karis, in the New York Times today. The New York Times explains that there is a little-known Cold War agreement under which the U.S. is actually allowed to, I quote, construct, install, maintain, and operate military bases, house personnel, control operations of ships, aircraft, and waterborne aircraft. It pretty much gives the U.S. free rein over the island, I quote, if they ask nicely. Purchasing Greenland, though, is a different affair because Denmark is not allowed to sell it, and Greenlanders must decide for themselves. A recent survey showed 85% of them were against being sold. Furthermore, if it's really the resources that the U.S. wants, well, once again, the New York Times says the U.S. needs only to ask, because Greenland has said that it is open to doing business with pretty much everyone.
All right, well, finally from you, things got woolly in Germany's Bavaria recently when a flock of sheep invaded a local supermarket.
Yeah, that's right. It was shear mania, Karis, in this region of Germany, Baa-varia, a supermarket there. Saw dozens of hungry sheep entering the supermarket by force. Let me see if I can show you that picture. There you go. They caused utter chaos as they rammed their way through the aisles. They spent about 20 minutes there after apparently mistaking a shopping bag for a feed bag. There they are. You can see them going into the supermarket. Afterwards, they U-turned back outside, and the woolly invaders even managed to bag a year's supply of free food as thanks for all the free publicity the supermarket got, thanks to that viral video.
Certainly something you don't see every day. Thank you very much, Diptyque Laurent, for that look at the press.